Hello Year 10, I hope you are safe and I hope you're well and I hope you've been enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been having and maybe even meeting up with a friend or between 1 and 6 friends, but socially distant, keeping 2 meters apart at all times obviously. And I suspect you're meeting up to revise poetry or inspect calls or something else English related, which thrills my heart to know that you obviously are doing that. Today's video is going to be on paper 1 and we're just going to look at a question at a time. So today's paper 1, question 1. And question 1 is really simple. It's about finding 4 things. It's kind of a getting you started type of question when it comes to the exam. However, don't underestimate the need for those 4 marks, because later on in the paper you might be kind of really wrestling and really trying and really doing your best to kind of get 4 out of 8 marks, or you know, to do a 12-mark question and maybe you only scrape 4 marks because of timing or something like that. So these 4 marks are really easy to get, and bag them quickly is what I'd say. So let's go through this question. It's really straightforward, it's really simple. Basically, you have to find 4 things related to whatever the question is asking for. So it might be find 4 things about the description of a tree, or find 4 things about what it says about the family, or find 4 things about the weather at the beginning of the article. It will also have a limited area for you to look within. So for example, it will specify what lines it wants you to find those 4 things in. So it might be find 4 things between lines 1 and 8, or find 4 things between lines 1 and 4. So it's really straightforward, really simple. So key things I would say is read the question, know what 4 things you are finding about, make sure you know the things that you find are really relevant. Know what lines it refers to. If I were you, I'd actually draw a line underneath the last line, so that you know that you are finding the 4 things within the lines that it's suggested. Always check that the 4 things that you have found definitely relate to the questions. So this is an example I want to go through with you. You are about to see an article about a boy and a bear. Here's the article. And I'm going to read through this article with you. And it says, behind you, Italian boy stays cool to keep bear at bay on alpine stroll. And that's the headline, and the question is, find 4 things about the boy between lines 1 and 5. So find 4 things about the boy between lines 1 and 5. So here's lines 1 and 5. I'll read them to you now. A 12-year-old Italian boy who came face to face with a large brown bear during an alpine stroll has been praised for his courage and composure after he turned and walked slowly away. So obviously, hopefully you've written down 4 things that you found about the boy between those lines 1 and 5. 4 things that you could have found is that he was 12 years old. Very simple, that he's 12. That he's Italian. Those 2 things, don't be tempted to put 12-year-old Italian boy as one thing. That's not one answer. You can actually split that and reap 2 marks from it. So that he's 12, that he's Italian, that he came face to face with a bear, that he's been praised for his courage and composure, and that he turned and walked slowly away. So there's 5 things up for grabs there. You need to just find 4 of them. So any of those 4, well done, give yourself 4 marks. You can, in this question, quote directly. So you can literally write 12-year-old boy, Italian, praised for his calm and composure, turned and walked slowly away. You can use the words in the article. You can also write those in bullet points, as long as you get the 4 things. As I said, it's a really simple, straightforward question. So what I would like you to go and do now is, I would like you to either find on the internet or find around the house a book or a magazine or a newspaper, anything, a back of a cereal packet, literally anything, and read the first paragraph and then say, right, I'm going to write down 4 things to do with such and such. So for example, if you've got a newspaper, or if you can search the internet for an article, maybe you're going to go, I'm going to write down 4 things about Boris Johnson. Very relevant, very now. You can find 4 things about Boris Johnson easily. Type in Boris Johnson to Google, search for Boris Johnson news articles, maybe in a magazine or a newspaper you've got around the house, look for something on Boris Johnson. Read the first couple of paragraphs, write down 4 things about him. Make sure that it's relevant, make sure you've got 4. You can use the direct quotations from the articles, and you can put it in bullet points. You can do that with anything. If you're doing Inspector Calls revision, you could go, I'm going to write down 4 things about Mr. Burling. Maybe read some revision notes on Mr. Burling, write down 4 things. You could do Christmas Carol, I'm going to write down 4 things on Scrooge. Read some revision notes you've got on Scrooge, write down 4 things. You can literally use this, as I said, for anything. So please have a go at question 1. Pick something, write down 4 things on it, make sure it's relevant, make sure you can use exact quotations, you can write in bullet points. Have a go at paper 1, question 1. Thank you, bye.